Hello, my name is Tenzin Desong. I'm a 16-year-old Tibetan born and raised right here in New York City. I'm a campaigns intern at SFT headquarters and a board member of the Students for a Free Tibet New York, New Jersey chapter. A few months ago, my life felt pretty ordinary. I was worrying about high school, hanging out with my friends, and catching subway on time to make to the Friday volunteer sessions at the SFT headquarters. But lately, being a Tibetan teenager feels like living in two completely different worlds. In one world, I'm just a normal kid trying to stay on top of my life. In the other, I'm opening my phone to see that someone I used to see at every single rally, someone who was there when I gave my very first speech for Tibet, has set himself on fire. Bolo Garanzin was so much to so many. If you have ever lived in New York, you knew him. He was always there at every rally, every hagar, every candle vigil. He was standing in the crowd right alongside us. He showed up for everyone, every time. Standing here today, the strangest hardest part is looking out at the crowd, realizing he isn't in it. There's a photo of him sitting in the exact spot where he used to stand. I still find it difficult to believe that this actually happened. For me, Paulo Garanzin's self-immolation was a wake-up call. Everywhere we look, we see Tibetans coming together. We have seen weekly protests, peace walks, hunger strikes, head shavings, and Tibetan youth dropping everything to be there. And we must. As Tibetan youth living in exile, we have freedoms that Tibetans our age in Tibet do not. I can speak Tibetan on the street without looking over my shoulder. I can learn about my culture in Tibetan Buddhism without being afraid of getting punished for it. Every right we enjoy here in exile, from the flags we wave to the images of His Holiness the Dalai Lama we see, is a privilege that Tibetans inside Tibet are punished for. Tibet remains one of the least free places in the world. And now the Chinese government has enacted a law, the Ethnic Unity and Progress Law, which criminalizes every aspect of Tibetan identity. Paulo Garanzin's self-immolation came just one day after the law was enacted. Every time the Chinese government talks about unity, Tibetans lose something. We lose another school that teaches our language. We lose another monastery to surveillance or the blade of a bulldozer. We lose another child forced into a colonial boarding school. We lose another Tibetan's life. And yet, against all odds, Tibetans inside Tibet are still resisting. It is our responsibility to stand behind them. Before he self-immolated, Paulo Garanzin left a final message. He said, "I don't want you to mourn me. I want you to continue the struggle for Tibetan independence." That is a call to action. Paulo Garanzin gave his life for Tibetan freedom right here on the doorstep of the United Nations. And yet the UN remains silent on Tibet. After his sacrifice, the only response from the United Nations was that it's absolutely tragic. And it's important that minorities are respected and made to feel as part of a whole. It is absolutely tragic that this is all the UN has to say. Tibetans are not asking to be made to feel like part of a whole. We are asking to have our identity, our rights, our existence as a people recognized and protected. Because we are still here. We call on UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, to break his silence on Tibet, establish an independent UN investigation into China's genocidal policies in Tibet, and demand the abolition of China's colonial boarding school system, which has stolen 1 million Tibetan children from their families. Us here in exile are part of a generation who have never stepped foot in Tibet. Many people do not remember or were not even alive for the 2008 uprisings. But we are the generation who has to watch Tibetan children online who cannot pronounce their own names. We are the ones with more access, tools, and exposure than ever before. So we have no excuse, no right to turn even a blind eye. Freedom is our birthright, and yet we have learned the hard way that freedom will never be handed to us. It must be fought for. So when this protest ends, don't leave this energy on the sidewalk. Step out of your comfort zone. Join a Tibet organization or an event. Talk to one person about Tibet every day. Use your voice. Make the choice to fight back until we achieve what Paul Loga Ramzin fought for, lived his life and gave his life for. A free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
Pegalo!
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 Perantingalo!
Perantingalo!
Perantingalo! Justice for Loga Ramzin!
Justice for Loga Ramzin!
Justice for Loga Ramzin!
Justice for Loga Ramzin!
China out of Tibet now!
China out of Tibet now!
China out of Tibet now!
China out of Tibet now!